Good morning. Good morning again. This is Brother Tony talking to you again this morning in order to tell you about the events and so many things that are now happening in the world. There are so many things happening in the world today, and I believe that we as Christian people should arise because we are coming to the conclusion of the world biblically and since the inception of man. There are so many things that went wrong in the world. And there was a first judgment, and God used Noah and his 3 sons and their wife in order to take on into another generation, which is the one that we are now living in today. But the thing about God, we cannot continue to live under this condition forever. But God have a quota of people in the world. First, I must tell you this, that this war began in heaven. And so Satan was able to deceive 1/3 of God's angels. And so that replacement must be made. And so we as human, there will be a quota in order to refill that was turned away by Satan. But as we continue, there's a period in which all these things will happen. And then the conclusion will and have to be made. And in Matthew 24, Jesus gave us some very important clue about the last days. And if you look in Daniel, it also tells you about things that is about to happen. If you look in Daniel 9, you see God tells Daniel to close the book. Meaning these things, Daniel, it doesn't mean to reveal to you because these things will come about in the end time. So the people who are living in the end time will understand these things. Now we are living in the end time, and these things are now revealing. And I'm very surprised that we are not able to read into these things that are now happening. If we go over to Revelation, it tells us about the beast. It tells us about one beast, Revelation 13 that is, it tells us about the beasts who operate for the serpent. The serpent gave that beast his seat and his power. We must start to realize who this beast is. Basically what I read there, this beast have global power. The other thing you should ask yourself, who is able to deceive Christian people? So we must start to do some thorough investigation from a spiritual perspective, because now the book of Daniel is open. There's a conclusion to the world in which it will come to an end forever. If you read Matthew 24, this is Jesus. And Jesus, when you look at beginning in Matthew 24, the disciples wanted to show him the glory of Solomon temple, how great it was. But Jesus said to them, don't get excited about this, because there's not going to be a stone left upon the other. Jesus was speaking to them with the destruction that will take Jerusalem. But not only that destruction that will take Jerusalem, but the destruction that will take the world. And we are in that period. We are approaching that period when that destruction will come up on the world. Jesus in Matthew 24, he tells us just about the comprehensive coverage of what would happen. In Daniel, now, the angel tell Daniel, leave it as it is. It's not for you to know. But in the end time, it will be revealed. And so when you look at Daniel and Revelation, they are similar because they are talking about the beasts. And the beast is what represents Satan. But there are two beasts in Revelation 13. And one of the beasts will be a religious beast because it's only religious people, Christian people, can deceive Christian people. And I'm telling you now, the biggest deception of relaying messages across the world today, you will be surprised to see and hear how God's word are being twisted based upon man's desire. The Bible also tells you about false prophets. How will you know a false prophet? You will only recognize a false prophet based upon the word of God, how he portray the word of God to you. You will know no other way. So that means we are living in the time when we should be on our knees in prayer, consistently and in the word of God. Not anywhere else, not man interpretation, not man claim revelation, but we should in the word of God. And that's only way we can identify what are being said to us that they are false. Another thing we should be looking out for is miracle. Miracle, miracle, miracle. Be careful about miracle. In Matthew 24, Jesus states that if it was possible, even his own people will be deceived by these miracles which the Antichrist and the false prophet will be taking into us today. My brother, I have been studying the word of God for 20 years. And believe me, some of the things that God showed me is very disturbing. It's disturbed me in the sense that we are not more alert on the things that are now happening around us. I'm very surprised.